So this is part 2 of converting a Word document with math to a Canvas page, and this part addresses headings and the images and formatting. So essentially my equations are done. Everything's showing up the way I would want it to in my document. Everything looks like it's reading okay. But I lost some of my heading formatting from the copying back and forth, and instead of letters A, B, C, D, I have numbering system, which actually is not the way I want it, so I'm going to fix that. And I'm going to also fix a little bit of the spacing because this is too close, and then I'll get to images. So to change from the numbering to having actual lettering, I just highlighted my whole list, and I'm going to click on the A, B, C, D. It's capital letters now. I could figure out how to do small letters, but I don't really care. So I have A, B, C, D, E now. That's what I wanted. And then on the second one, I'm going to have, let's see if I highlight everything. There is a little bit of different formatting. I'm going to do A, B, C, D. Okay, so it did restart my list after that second part. So I'm going to fix that. And there's probably a way to in HTML to fix it, but I'm going to do a quick fix just by hitting the backspace. Now I got D showing up the way I want. And I'm going to now, when I'm at the end of the sentence, I want that other little sentence I cut out to show up here. So I'm going to hit Shift Enter. There we go. And then I could put in that for parts D through F, use the following, and Shift Enter again. And now I have what I need. So because I'm trying to avoid HTML code, I was trying to get this spacing in here that I wanted, and the paragraph tool wasn't doing it. But I did notice that if I select the items I want to have a space in between, if I hit pre-formatted and then paragraph, for some reason, it gives me the spaces I want. And at this point, we do whatever works. So I have the spacing. I do need to kind of fix my headings here, so that's an easy fix here. Oh, that first one I want as a heading 2, and then the second one would be a heading 3, and my heading 3. So my headings are fixed, my spacing is fixed, I have the equations, and now my lists are good. I just need to get my pictures back into play. My original picture came after where it reads for parts D through F. And so this first picture I have, which I believe is the same for both. Let me read the alt text. Yes, and so the alt text is the same for both. So I happen to have the same image. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually click on the image, and I'm going to right click and do Save as a Picture. And I'm going to save this to my desktop. Okay, so I just have it randomly here. I'm going to save it, and I'm just going to say image 1. Now, if you needed to save because you're going to reuse it, I suggest you save it in a location that you have that it's going to be easy to reference. So now I'm going to go to upload my image, and I'm going to find it in the desktop. I found my image on the desktop, and I'll hit open. And then I'm going to submit this image to be downloaded into my document. And it's huge. It's messing everything up. I'm going to resize it down. And it's in the wrong place, and we resize it and put it in the correct place. Okay, I found the right place, I put it in the right place, and now I'm going to go to image options, and I'm going to go over here where it says the alt text. Now I'm going to go back to my source file. So this really emphasizes why we need a good source file to be able to create alternate outputs for. So this source file already has a description in here. Whether or not it has the title is not as big of a deal as it having the description. I don't have to recreate the wheel here. I have the description. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put that in my alt text box that disappeared. Come back. Okay, there we go. It does that sometimes. I don't know why. Now, a couple of things I want of note here. When you're doing your alt text, notice I do have equations in here with the superscript a little bit. And so there is math, and I wrote it up as text with superscripts with the caret symbol. I felt comfortable doing this because almost all of my students write back to me this way in emails. Now, if I had more complicated input I needed into the alt text, such as a integral or something, then I would put either a separate file or separate page and use math type. You can't use math type in these alt text. That's okay though. There is other ways to do that, and I show that in my image description videos. But this alt text works great. I have now put in the alt text. The image has the alt text. My equations should all be showing up. So let's now look at the page that I've created. So I have my hyperlink is good. My headings are good. My equations are readable. They're good. My formatting looks okay. My image will read with the description, and everything looks like it's set. And overall, that took about a little over 10 minutes to go from the original file, which was here, this file here, to this. I noticed in my original file I had the picture twice. I would put that in. I would just do upload again and do the alt text copying again. So a couple little things I need to fix. That's the little checks that you do. So considering the time, it was about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to do this. That's one consideration to have. And also another consideration to have is there is a point at which you do feel like you're doing the same thing over and over. And if that is going to be very frustrating, that's where I suggest having the EPUB as an alternative rather than forcing yourself to do a Canvas page if you really are just don't have the time or are very stressed. Then the EPUB is another option. But that's how you could take a Word document that has all these features and put it into a Canvas page.